How's it going, everybody? For today's beer review, we're going to be taking a look at Odell Brewing Company's Runoff, a red IPA. So we have here another beer by Odell Brewing Company. I've started really getting into these guys lately. The first beer I tried from them was their Mercenary Double IPA, and I kind of fell in love with that beer and the brewery. So I was at the liquor store yesterday, and I wasn't really looking for stuff. I was just looking for session stuff to refill my beer fridge with. You know, nothing special to set back in the cellar, just like some IPAs and some stouts that I can just drink anytime. And I was looking for a six-pack of IPA, and nothing really jumped out at me. And then I saw this, and I said, why not kill two birds with one stone? It's a beer you've never tried before, and it comes in a six-pack and looks pretty good, and Odell seems to be a pretty promising brewery, at least as far as I'm concerned. So it is a red IPA, which means it might be just slightly malty, don't know. Information comes in at 6.5% alcohol by volume, which for some people is a little high to be sessionable. That's right about where I like my session beers to be. And the commercial description here says, this time of year in the Rockies, one day can span all 4 seasons. Morning snow turns to afternoon sun, sending fresh snowmelt into our rivers and into our mash tun. Runoff Red IPA is how we honor the shoulder season with a complex malt backbone, dry hopped for notes of citrus and pine, and an alpenglow red hue. It's as surprising as the season itself. And it does say it is a seasonal ale, so that's interesting. I'm going to be drinking this out of my Dogfish Head branded IPA glass. So let's get the cap off of here. Oh, and it says seasonal ale on the lid. That's cool. I'm going to keep that lid then, because I don't have one from Odell that says that yet. Take it off carefully. Okay. The cap's off, straight out, the color pours. A nice kind of burnt caramel and whiskey cognac kind of color. I'm going to pour this straight down the center here. Seems to have a really good head potential on this beer. Formed up about a finger and a half of light-colored, tan-colored head. Holding in the light, man, it looks so awesome. There's a little bit of a chill haze on the glass, but it is just a super deep ruby red with kind of like whiskey and cognac colors mixed in with it. That looks awesome. As far as the smell goes, really good. There's definitely the pine and the citrus. There's kind of like a rainwater earthiness to it. Hops and grapefruit. Not those super in-depth, like double IPA smells like peaches and mangoes, though. This is on the more piney side of things, which I like sometimes. Look at that. It seems like it's going to have good lacing, too. But the main thing is, there is definitely a malty backbone, but it blends harmoniously, at least as far as the smell goes. It doesn't smell like an IPA that's sat too long and it's becoming a malt bomb. You can tell it's meant to be there. Really good. Smells pretty delicious, but we won't know until we give it a taste, so let's do that. Oh yeah. I'm enjoying this immensely. That is really good stuff. There's a medium sweet hop and pine up front, and it kind of fades into a medium sweet malt, kind of like a red ale, really. Surprisingly, it's got a pretty thick mouthfeel, and it seems to be almost a full-bodied beer, like getting up there to stout level on the thickness of it, which is interesting. Usually on an IPA, I like them to be really thin because that kind of lends hand-to-hand with it being a refreshing beer, it being real thin and crisp. But it kind of works with this, with it being a red-styled IPA. That's awesome. It's not cloyingly sweet. It's extremely balanced, very sessionable in my opinion. The balance is what's key here, man. It's like, it's not too sweet. It smells like it's going to be sweet, but it's not. It's a perfect balance. And it doesn't end super bitter either, and that's what's surprising. It doesn't end really that bitter or sweet. It just kind of ends mellow, and it's good. So, as far as my rating on this beer goes, in the style, I'm going to give this like a, honestly, I'm going to get like a 98 to a 99 in the style. I think this is an absolute perfect representation of the red IPA style. As far as my own personal score goes, I would give it about a 95 to a 96. Definitely an A+ beer. The reason why I'm not giving it like a 98 or a 99 is because I personally would have liked a little bit more bitterness on the back end of this beer. That's not to say it's a game changer or a game ruiner, or a game breaker, I guess. It's good. It's very balanced. And I think, honestly, it lends way to it being a lot more sessionable, that it doesn't have more bitterness. But then again, my second score is just how much I'm enjoying it, in my opinion. My opinion is it could use just a tad bit more bitterness on the back end, but, you know, it's still really, really good stuff. So my suggestion to you is, if you're into IPAs and you want something a little bit different, just a little bit heavier and thicker, give Runoff Red IPA a try by Odell Brewing Company. Really good stuff. Highly recommend it. And as always, hope you guys enjoyed the beer review video.